So what have we learned so far in this section? Couples in the 50s are selecting for partnership. They aren't focused on romantic easy love. They expect to build a partnership relationship. They're predisposed to having differences in that relationship. They meet, they focus on what matches, they learn to adapt to what doesn't match, and they get married. With the relationship experts' help, they spend the rest of the marriage trying to understand and deal with the differences. They have to learn to stick it out because they can't get divorced. Then the 70s come along. Women gain their economic and social power, which means they don't have to marry for security, they can begin to marry for love. Divorce laws change and the divorce rate skyrockets as people no longer have to learn to stick it out through their differences. The 70s single, right up to today's single, used the same old dating ideals of the past. Because dating and relationship ideals of the past say that we must expect that there will be differences, we continue even today to learn to adapt to those differences as part of the dating process. Through their messaging to singles, the relationship experts continue to reinforce the ideals that we need to focus on what matches and learn to appreciate and understand the differences between prospective partners. But remember, we marry because of our similarities, but divorce because of our differences. When we follow the relationship experts' advice, we automatically accept that our relationships will be mismatched and will require work because of those mismatches. We automatically set up ourselves with a thing that will cause a divorce later. So has anyone ever stopped to ask, should we be allowing the people who are experts with troubled couples to set our expectations of what's possible in new relationships? Should we follow their advice when it leads to a 50% failure rate? Should we permit them to set our ideals? Should we allow them to tell us that all relationships are going to be work? Should we allow them to set the de facto bar on the best that any relationship can be? We're going to find in the next segment that the relationship experts' ideals are going to crash headlong into what people really want from relationships today. As a reminder, we started with two questions. The first one was, what is a soulmate? And that's something we're still discovering. The second one was, what is the real underlying problem that keeps people from finding deep love? That's a problem we've talked about quite a bit. I wonder if you see the real underlying problem yet. Up next, we're going to move from the age of divorce into the romantic renaissance. That's up next. Stay tuned.